go subscribe to Will's Fukery.
Welcome back to the Fukery.
We'll go ahead and jump right in. What are we jumping into?
Yeah, man. So I gave myself a buzz cut. I saw episode 6. Like, I was like, man,
You had that
Trying
old
to-
man look fucking
Yeah.
going for sure.
I was growing my hair out, but it's thinning out so much now that I was like, man, I'm going to buzz it. I look like a hobo. So
Now what do you look like?
now I just like a bald hobo.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure if there was something drastic that changed from
Nah, I usually keep it short, but I let it grow out. Like, people were talking shit at work. They're like, cut your fucking hair. And I was like, nah, I'll let it grow out a little bit more. And I was like, I looked at that video. I was like, dude, I gotta fucking, I gotta cut it.
I try to, every now and again, I'll be like, I'm going to try to grow it out a little bit. But now I'm so fucking hit or miss what comes in and what doesn't. Like, back in the back has got like a little fucking... That's my halo. Thank you, Jesus, for that. But yeah, I try to keep, but I'm fucking lazy, man. I feel like it takes a lot of effort to fucking shave sometime, but
Talking about shaving, I remember a time as a kid when you were over at my parents' house, and I don't know if you were talking about going to the military or if it was just like you wanted to cut your hair and you had my sister buzz cut you. Like down in her basement, like the basement, there's a bathroom, and I remember my dad coming home and being like, "Just clean up all the hair." And I remember you sitting there, and she was giving you a buzz cut.
yeah.
You just shaved it all off.
I rocked, I guess I really only, once I got old enough to have some kind of, I guess my own style where it wasn't just I either kept a flat top, which I got from, I fell in love with the flat top look. I did that for years. But I originally got that from Sting, the wrestler, when he first came out, and he was the blonde hair Sting.
Yeah.
He rocked that flat top. I held that for many years.
WCW.
And then every now and again, I'd buzz cut my hair, and then I kind of kept it like that for a long time. That was probably like 13, 14-ish. But that's when like House of Pain came on the scene. So it was like cool to be like that white kid with the shaved head.
Yeah. They're the ones that did, it was Jump Around, right?
Yeah.
Jump Around.
Everlast, Danny Boy, and DJ Lethal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get up.
So, and then once I started kind of thinning out more and more, and some of the guys I hung with, they just shave it. And I was like, yeah, fuck it. Like, I had a fat fucking dome anyway. It's like a fucking watermelon head. I mean, so, fuck it. It's whatever. But now I fucking wear a hat all the time.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of which one goes with the outfit.
Yeah, man. Like, I was never really big into like wearing hats or beanies. It was like, I don't know, like, I started doing that around like 21, 22. Like, I felt more comfortable wearing them. Like, I always hated wearing hats because I would wear them like further down. It would always bother the shit out of my ears. But
Yeah.
I feel naked without one. Like
I definitely do.
Like right now.
Like I don't know, probably, I guess high school I really started rocking like the fitteds. And it's funny because I was a big Limp Bizkit fan. And
Fred Durst.
as I started getting like tattooed and shit, my dad would tell people like, my dad would call me Fat Durst because I was this fat kid, but like I always rocked the fucking hat backwards and was getting tattooed, and yeah, he would always call me Fat Durst. So, but yeah.
So lately, I don't watch a lot of TV because I did when I was a kid. My mom used to work for the cable company, but I've had some time off from like for the holidays. My company gives us like, because we're pretty slow this time of year, they give us some time off of work. So I've been watching a lot of movies all of a sudden, like, and not even like some newer shit, but it got me on this thing of like the classics, like the shit that I remember as a kid, like 80s movies, early 90s, and stuff that's gone on recently. But I've been watching a lot of fucking movies, man.
Just old school,
like
VCR style.
Yeah, like I mean, it's all digitalized now.
Right, no, I get
great,
that, but
like,
when it came out, I
oh
mean, you're
yeah,
talking
like
about these are
the
VHS
classics,
fucking
yeah.
shit.
I'm talking like the Goonies because I was into pirate shit, watched it a lot. There was something about the adventure and that kind of like treasure hunting shit I was always kind of into. So the Goonies was like one, but I'm talking like Bloodsport, the Lethal Weapon 1 and 2. Although I like the one with Pesci, but the first two were like, I don't know, darker. I like that.
Yeah.
Like the darker writing and directing of that one. And then you can't mention, without Mel Gibson, you can't mention like The Patriot, which I don't know. Have you ever
I've
seen?
never seen it.
Yeah.
I'm not a big.
I like Braveheart.
I don't know. A lot of these actors that were big back then. I'm not like a huge fan.
Yeah.
I don't know. One of my favorite all time movies is Die Hard. So I guess if I had like a boy to man crush growing up, it was probably Bruce Willis. Yeah, he was just a bad motherfucker.
He was good, man. Yeah, and I feel like that's what he was like in real life too.
Yeah,
like he didn't give a fuck.
And it's kind of sad now just to read the shit that his family puts out. He's kind of fucked up. Like I don't know how long he'll be around or kind of shit like that. But
what does he have? He has like dementia or something, or Alzheimer's or some shit. He's got something.
Yeah, he's definitely like he can't even make like full sentences anymore from what they were saying. So he's pretty fucked up. I mean, and
it's sad.
I feel like it went down pretty quick just because I feel like his roast wasn't that long ago.
And he was there.
And he participated in it and everything else.
Well, I know his daughter that he had with Demi Moore, I guess, because they were married for a long time. Yeah. They were like Hollywood, like A-listers for a long time. And they had a daughter, and she was like, I don't know. She was in something. I think it was Dancing with the Stars or something. She was involved, and he came on. Like, they weren't expecting him. He showed up because she made it in the finals or some shit like that. Or she won. I don't remember. Because my sister and my mom were into that kind of shit. But
That's all right. You can say you were. It's okay.
But I remember seeing.
This is a safe spot. You're not going to get judged. Yeah. I mean, if that's your deal, that's your deal.
No, my family would watch things like they used to watch a lot of Sopranos. Like that was like our family thing. We would get together and have like these barbecues and shit every weekend. Like for a while, like when I was a teenager, and we'd get to. And my mom working for the cable company, like she would get these like special deals. Like she came home with like a jacket, like a leather jacket with this whole like moniker thing of Sopranos like sewn in. It was like a movie prop, and they had won like her whatever. It was like the cable company gave all this stuff away. I don't know how they got it, but she actually ended up winning that. So she got it from awesome. Yeah, I still have it. That's Although cool. I ripped the fucking inside of the thing out. Yeah, because I like the jacket, but it had like these like soprano things on the outside of it. And there were like little patches that were sewn on. I fucking took them off because I was like, hey, that looks. I don't want to walk around with a leather jacket that says Sopranos on it. It'd be worth probably a lot of money had I left it alone.
Even if not now, years down. I mean, I feel like that show is going to be
huge, man.
Forever.
It's not going to be
talked about as one of the greatest shows on TV. But HBO used to come into the game and kill it. I don't know about now though. They still got some stuff. Yeah, I think. Game of Thrones, but I kind of was excited when my buddy told me about it, and I kind of binged like the first 2 seasons. And then I was just like, yeah, fuck this. Like it's just too much. I don't know. I've never been like a sci-fi or a fucking that kind of shit.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because if you said Bruce Willis, I'm thinking like also Fifth Element, but you're not really into that.
No, but I mean, and I don't even think I've seen that movie, but I've seen enough clips with Chris Tucker.
Oh yeah, Coey, my man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't think I've ever actually watched that Fifth Element to the fullest.
Oh, but you're talking about Chris Tucker. Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, classic movie, man. The second one was good too, but the first one I love that one.
I liked all the Fridays.
Yeah.
The
third one, I don't know, man. I watched it, but I didn't like the third one that much.
I'm trying to think what the third one was.
I don't even think Ice Cube is in that one. I think it's Chris Tucker and like some.
No.
But his dad's in it or whatever. Because his dad's the dog catcher. Like
Ice Cube's he passed away. He's dead now.
Is that Withers?
Yeah. He was a great comedian, stand-up comic.
See, I never saw his stand-up stuff.
But the first one was with Smokey. That was Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
The second one, it was Mike Epps. So as Day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that was when their house was going to get taken. And then the third one is with Ice Cube and Day again.
So maybe I'm wrong. The second one was the one
that's when they got their own place and they got like robbed on Christmas and shit. Yeah, I remember that now because like that's where Cat Williams and that Terry Crews dude, they're in it.
Yeah. You think they'll bring that back another Friday?
I don't know. Like they keep talking about it, but I don't know until I hear something from Cube's mouth, like writing it
It
out.
ain't gonna happen unless he's got.
Yeah, that's his baby. So that's why when you're like, I don't think Cube was in it. Like, nah, that's.
Yeah, I don't think he was in the second one, was he?
Yeah, he was in all of them.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen that, but I just saw the Friday recently because I watched that again. And I was like, man, I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
Like,
well, speaking of Friday, when I was in LA, that was one of the houses we went and visited, and they got their own Instagram page. It's the Friday House or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but the owners of the house are cool as shit. I mean, they let you come up on the porch and like do whatever. They got like a fake setup.
Smoke a blunt and shit.
No, it actually does say no smoking on the porch,
shit.
but they do have a tray with like the rolling paper, so you can sit there and act like you're rolling a joint on like.
Take a picture and shit.
And they got the chair set up how Craig and Smokey had it. They got the boom box. So like, and then like even on the side prop, they got Debo's bike that you can ride on. So I had my cousin Asher and my daughter, they were sitting on the porch, and I was like Debo on the bike, like chilling. But then with where Stan lived, you know, the don't step on the grass.
Oh yeah,
bitch
across the
ass
street.
neighbor. They got the trees, so I come and like took some pictures of that. And across the street was Miss Parker's house.
That's right. Yeah, because
she said usually when that woman's there, they put like a sign out and they have a hose where you can come and pose like you're Miss Parker and shit. But they were out of town, she said. But
that's cool shit.
they were talking. I asked her like, it's got to be fucking crazy because we pulled up. I think we pulled up kind of late. Like they asked for people not to come at a certain time, and my uncle was already like, we were in it. We were already driving around and hitting houses and shit, and so he was like, I mean, worst case, we'll just like snap a picture and roll. But she was outside, and like my uncle talked to the owner, and she was, I mean, like I said, she was cool as shit. But she was like, yeah, like come on up, whatever. But by the time we left, fuck, dude, there was probably like 30, 40 people there.
Damn.
So I'm sure that's a nonstop.
All the time.
Yeah. And plus she says now she couldn't remember what company runs it, but there's tours now that do like the weed movies.
Okay,
so
like a weed
course,
tour.
Yeah.
movie
So
thing.
of course that house is going to pop as a fucking
Weed-
dopehead
weed
tour.
culture.
You know what I mean? So that just makes it worse because the street is not that fucking. I mean, what you see in the movie is the street. Like, it's not that big, and cars park on both sides. So if you're in a bus or a
You're taking
bigger
up
size
most of the
van,
road.
yeah, you're fucking that neighborhood up. So, but I mean, you buy these houses, people got to expect.
You got to know.
And the neighbors got to know. I mean, but I talked to my aunt because she works in Hollywood and deals with all this, and she drove by some houses that we didn't know. Just to show us. And I asked her, like, how does it go? And she's like, pretty much like they'll come in, they'll rent the house. And she says, and a lot of times, if it's like a block, they'll pay all the neighbors for the inconvenience of.
That's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
You're getting something out of it.
Yeah, but she says sometimes they'll come in and the house will be like, I don't know, kind of like a shit house. And they'll come in and redo it for the fucking thing. And
that's
pretty
cool.
much you
Adds value
rented
to the
your
property.
fucking thing. Now you got a nice house, and I mean, I guess depending on whatever,
Yeah.
they could leave shit. I mean,
Yeah. Well, and over
just
time
all
too,
the
if you're
cost of a fucking movie, you know what I mean? It's getting
yeah, like, and if you're getting money out of it, like if they're paying for the inconvenience over time, like if you're renting it out and stuff, like you're probably coming away with a better value. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
like if you're putting money into it, fixing it up, and then renting it out, and then getting money from that,
But I mean,
your investment there.
yeah, but what kind of value is some paint or whatever
True.
gonna? But yeah, I don't know. I mean, we definitely when we were in LA, we definitely drove around some parts and like I just wanted to check out. So we ate at some restaurant where it was Sharon Taint's Taint. Sharon Tate's last meal before the whole Charles Manson thing. We ate there. we went to the house where Marvin Gaye got murdered by his father. We drove by the hotel where Whitney Houston died.
Damn.
Walked by the hotel where Belushi died. But then we went to I did get to go to the Die Hard building, which is fucking like ridiculous. It was awesome. But that was like high up on my list. We went to the Mr. and Mrs. Smith house. We went to the Pee Wee Herman house. Strawberry from Up in Smoke, the Cheech and Chong house. So it was pretty cool. My aunt laid it out. I mean, she's been a LA brat her whole life, so she broke it down. Like, this day we're gonna do these houses. This day we're gonna.
So you got the rounds.
Oh yeah,
That's
and
cool as shit.
Then the next day, she's like, "Hold on, what the fuck are all these houses?" And I was like, "Oh, that's next trip." She's like, "Cool, keep your list going. This is pretty cool because being out there, it's not really a big deal to them. You know what I mean?
Right. It's normal.
Yeah,
it's part of the tourist
But
thing.
you got some East Coast kid that's like, "Oh, I want to see this shit."
Right.
So,
Well, because you grew up watching all this shit.
well, then
what I mean?
even like her driving us around, or my uncle driving us around, she's like, "Oh, this is cool. Like, it's not something we would do living here." But I mean, you get people that come visit you. They want to go to DC to do the museums and that shit that we did in school as like a field trip. So it's not
boring
that big
to
a
us.
deal, right? So,
It's lost its
but I mean, even
attractiveness.
going up to like the big Hollywood sign, which she was saying that was just like a real estate sign put up for advertisement, and then it just
Became a thing?
stayed, yeah, and became a thing. But
That's cool as shit. Yeah, that's one of the places I haven't gone out west yet, and that's one of the things if I ever make it out there, that's kind of stuff I want to do.
yeah,
Just because I don't know, it's the nostalgia.
I
shit to
definitely
it.
can't wait to go back out there again. I mean, I love LA. I mean, the last trip I was lucky we did we did a handful of nights in LA, and then we got on a plane and went into Vegas and did almost a full week in Vegas before we came back. So it was fucking. I love Vegas.
That's one place
I
that
love LA.
everybody who's gone that I know, that's like one of those places where like Vegas is like a cool place to fucking go.
Vegas is a shithole though, man.
Yeah, but going into the casinos, they said just fucking if you're into gambling, don't go.
Well, even if you're not a gambler,
There's enough shit there.
there was enough shit. I mean, it was cool. Because I was kind of worried, bringing Lo. She's only 16. I didn't honestly know what the fuck she was gonna.
If she would have a lot to do.
And I asked her, I was like, man, there's shows. What do you want to see?
Yeah.
And she wanted to see a burlesque show.
All right.
And what else did she want to see? And there was another show she wanted to see. Fuck. I'm trying to think. There was definitely 2 shows, and we went and seen both of them. But the burlesque show, a lot of those were 18 or older. But I found one. It was a zombie burlesque show.
That's cool as shit.
Yeah. So in the fucking reviews and shit, it was I would be 13 or older, but it's kid friendly. Yeah. It made me fucking blush.
Oh shit.
So it started with, I mean, I get the burlesque, they're half naked chicks dancing around, but so the one guy, he's this heavier set, MC of the show, he comes out and does his shit. Well, we sat close, and all of a sudden he was like, hold on, stop. What the fuck? And he looked down at Logan and was like, how old are you? And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, here's another fucking I did a good job as a fucking parent moment coming on. So she was 16. And he was like, really? And who are you here with?
Oh shit, he singled you guys out.
And she was like, and Tracy was with us, so she could have easily said my mother and father or my dad. Cool. So then he's looking at me. So then this was the start of the show. Well, the next thing I know, they're bringing out fucking rubber dicks that are almost the size of my fucking arm. And the one guy that's the gay guy of the burlesque show, he's faking to blow these people in the first row, and then they got to this point and they're like, all right, this is the guys for this is the part of the show for all the guys to participate. Everybody's got a name for their dick. We'll start. So then he finally gets to me, and I'm looking at him like, and I'm doing this. Like, we're not even playing this. And he stops, and he starts laughing. He's like, yeah, I guess there's certain things that your daughter doesn't need to know. And the name of your dick will be one tonight.
Oh,
so
shit.
he kind of like,
So you're probably trying to think of something clever.
Nah, I wasn't. I was the
there.
whole time like, I'm not gonna say shit. No, we're not doing this.
Called your
But the
ass
show
out.
was fucking entertaining. It was really good. Logan liked it. I don't know why in the fuck I can't think of the other things she wanted to do. But Tracy's a big Kelly Clarkson fan, and I found and she was actually doing a residency in Vegas while we were there. So I bought 2 tickets for her and Logan to go, and I figured, fuck it, I can go around town, like,
right, when they're busy.
while they're there. But they went to the show, and I mean, Logan's got some great fucking footage. Like, they were closer to Kelly Clarkson than where that camera set up. I mean,
Wow.
I bought.
They were that close.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta buy. Logan's young, so and Tracy's like a goddamn midget, so I
they
wanted
can see
them
the
to
show.
enjoy it, and it was something they got to do together. Like, I don't know,
Bonding and shit.
I don't know if Logan was as big of a Kelly Clarkson fan as Tracy, but I mean, I took Tracy, I guess, when Kelly Clarkson first came out, and Tracy's never been one to like geek out or meet somebody, you know what I mean? But when we were leaving, and actually that was at Nissan Pavilion when we seen Kelly Clarkson, and that was probably like her first album, so like it's been years ago, but we were leaving, and I could I pay attention to what the fuck's going on around me, and I could kind of see like how security was moving. I told Tracy like, hey, stop for a second. And she's like, what's going on? I was like, I think Kelly Clarkson's gonna like pop up like right by us, like just chill. Damn if she didn't. Like, they brought this like little miniature stage, and like Tracy touched, and then she was like, oh my god, I touched Kelly Clarkson, like blah blah blah. But this was years ago. But they both said they had a great time together, which is good, like whatever. Yeah. But I don't know, I keep thinking, what the fuck else did we do that she wanted to do? But I am drawing a fucking blank. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't think.
I heard there's I was watching a video. But
I know what it is now. It was a drag queen show. A drag show. And so actually the hotel we stayed at, we actually stayed at the Flamingo, which I heard bad things about just because it's so old, trashy, whatever, blah blah blah. But they did a revamp of the fucking. It was a nice ass hotel. Our room was beautiful, but so we went to this RuPaul drag show, which was in the hotel, and it was a blast. I mean,
damn.
Like, I mean, some of these drag queens were fucking. I mean, there was definitely some you could tell, like, yeah, that's a dude. But there was one, like, god damn, like, if you wouldn't know, you wouldn't know. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, Hollywood, man, plastic surgery's way more.
Well, I mean, not because they'll pop up. So they popped up on like the screen, and it's like the guys talking, and then it like fade out, and then it would pop them up in drag. I'm like, god damn, like I see it. Like, they're all men. I mean, they walk in the street. They're men. This is what they do.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. We went to actually one of my first drag queen shows wasn't that long ago, and we went. It was my first time, so I was kind of like, like I want to go. It seems fun, and like honestly, no matter what, like the gay community knows how to have a fucking blast. Like, that's something that I've always thought. I mean, I don't know if they spent so much. Like, I told Tracy, there was this guy there. He was a heavyset guy, and he was just in the audience, but he had like this fucking tube top on, but his belly's out. Like,
They just don't give a fuck.
no, like, I wish I could do that as a fucking man now. Like, not even give a fuck. Like, there's certain like things I'm worried about, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
But then I'm thinking, like, maybe this dude.
They just have that confidence that
Yeah,
they
but
don't
who knows?
care.
Who knows what it took him to come out to whoever, what
Right.
kind of life he was living. So now he's at a point where he's happy,
Comfortable
so he's like,
and shit.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Comfortable. You feel good.
I don't know.
man.
I feel comfortable, but I don't think I can roll around with a fucking tube top on. I don't know, man. I give my props to him for real, because that took a lot of fucking balls. But,
Yeah. It's wild, dude. Like,
so yeah, that was the other thing, the RuPaul drag show, and I don't know who produced that show. It's RuPaul and some other guy, but the other guy was actually there that night, so we seen him. But like, I mean, I'm not big into that
kind of stuff.
Yeah, so everyone was like, "Oh my god, you such a legend," and all this shit, and I'm like, "Cool, what's up, man?" Like, I don't know who the fuck you are, like, but
But you know by the end of the night.
right. But Logan had a blast, and like it was a good time. I mean, so, and then just walking around the town and seeing the trash, and not trash, but trashy people, and just it's definitely a people watcher place. I mean, I watched bums get locked up because they were fucking right there on the main drag of the street. And,
Damn.
like, the cop was like, "All right, man, hurry up with your pants."
Wrap
like,
it up.
He was kind of, there was no rap. Like, the bitch was on the ground picking her fucking scabs. Like, she was just a fucking dirty whore.
Oh.
And they were bums, but like, the cop was starting to get pissed. Like, dude was trying to tuck his dick in and fucking do his pants, but on the street right there, I mean, it's
Everywhere, right?
Sin City, baby. It's what it is. I mean, you don't give a fuck. But
That's a place for lust, though, man. Like gluttony and everything. But damn, yeah, I've never been there. That's one of the places like I definitely want to go to Vegas, just because I've heard so much. Like,
so they do
crazy shit.
that reggae fest, and it hits like Florida and Maryland, and I looked up this year because it was in Vegas. Vegas is one of the spots too.
Reggae Rise Up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about that too. I was gonna go to it this year when it hit Maryland.
So I looked at the Vegas, and the Vegas fucking lineup kills Florida's. It kills Maryland's.
I think
I was like-
do they do it in Colorado too? Because
It's like 4 or 5 different places.
usually all the good bands. I mean, all the
But
West
I wouldn't
Coast,
I wouldn't mind. Like, maybe we should look into see where that's gonna hit.
yeah,
Vegas
hit up
next
Vegas and
year.
we'll videotape that shit.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, podcast on the go.
Oh, on the streets of Vegas, you know
Oh,
what kind of fucking
fucked up
footage
shit
we can get?
Yeah.
I will definitely talk shit to a motherfucker.
So
in
if you
Vegas.
guys would be interested in that, let us know. Maybe well, I don't want to start a fund or nothing for that, but
go fund me to get to
yeah,
Vegas.
go fund me to get to Vegas so we can videotape some crazy shit. And we're
Let
not.
me live my best sins. Go fund me.
What happens in Vegas will not stay in Vegas this time because we'll have footage.
Definitely, if you come home with a fucking drip from your dick, that shit's not staying in Vegas.
Oh man.
Nah, but Vegas is awesome. I mean, like the gambling. I mean, I try not to blow money like that. So I mean, I gambled a little bit here and there, and I actually sat on a table for a pretty long time. I was kind of impressed with myself. But yeah, man, it's a place like it is what you make it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we went to the Hell's Kitchen restaurant, and
That's
that
one of
was
the places.
cool as
I'm a huge
shit.
Gordon Ramsay fan. Like I don't know, man. I'm not a good cook, but I like watching like cooking shit and Gordon Ramsay. Just the way he, like, I don't know if it's his persona or if it's legitimately him, but just the way he treats. Like, I love that shit.
Well, I mean, going there and that being like my first Gordon Ramsay place besides like his fish and chips restaurant or whatever, which is just
Yeah,
like,
he's
you
big
know.
into like bistros and stuff too.
So his shit on his shows is always like risotto or like a beef Wellington or. So Tracy got the beef Wellington, which was, I mean, a small piece of meat, but the fucking thing was like $70 some. But oh my god, it was like
good.
melting your fucking mouth. And risotto, it was the first time I actually had like risotto. Oh my god,
It was
I
good.
felt I had the lobster risotto.
Oh, dude.
So it was fucking money. I mean, it was fucking. So I was like, yeah, I'm a fan of risotto. Like, I like this shit. So I tried it again at another restaurant, and I was so fucking disgusted.
Disappointed?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like. So I guess I started at the top,
and worked your way down.
and then so now it's not great. Like,
Doesn't hit the same way, man. The second
No.
time.
I guess you can't fuck a Playboy model and then go to a fucking crack whore. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
It's gonna be different.
yes, it was definitely different. Like, it turned me off. Like, even thinking about it now, because it was actually in Florida. From this last cruise we stayed in Port Canaveral for a night. which I don't know how much I talked about actually staying in Port Canaveral, but my sister lives in Tampa, and she did the like 3-hour ride over just to hang out for a couple hours and eat dinner, which was fucking.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was awesome because Tracy's sister lives in Orlando. She did the hour ride to kind of hang with Tracy and hang with us, and then my sister did the 3-hour ride over. And I think Tracy needed that. It was the first time she's seen her sister since like COVID, and I see my sister either like when she comes up to Maryland or if we plan a lot. We've done a lot of trips over the years to go to like Tampa, St. Pete area just because she lives there.
Yeah.
And we talk on the phone, but I mean, and I feel like a lot of times, like even if she's here, we really got nothing to say to each other, but it's just nice to have her around. You know what I mean?
Just to see each other and catch up.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was awesome because, and then I started feeling like, man, I'm a shitty person because if she was like 3 hours away, I'm like, yeah, we might be able to talk on the phone, but like
When you're close.
and I even
not to go
told her
visit.
like, and she's like writing me like, yeah, it's saying blah blah blah. However, and I was like, man, that's further than what I thought. I was like, look, I get it. If you don't want to make the ride, that's a long. I mean, that's a.
Yeah, but she might feel the same way you do. Like, hey, he's in town. I'll head out.
Yeah,
see him.
and she came over, and I was like, cool. Like, you want to stay the night at the hotel with us, and then just get up and go. And she's like, no, I got to go to work the next morning. So she drove the 3 hours to hang with us for maybe 3-4 hours, and then back home for another 3 hours. Like, shit like that. Like, I mean, I felt loved. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and it was good to, like, when we sat at the dinner, she sat beside me. We kind of bullshitted and talked about life and what's going on with her and kind of.
It's
like,
good.
where we're
That's
at.
good to have
So,
that
yeah.
shit, though. It is. Especially if you guys get along and you talk from time to time. It's good to have that. It's good to know that you're family. I mean, like I said, most of my friends are like family to me. So, I mean, I love my family too, but we're loud and crazy. So it's like I'm more quiet. I can be loud, but I'm pretty quiet for the most part. But yeah, man.
But yeah, I know you were talking about movies. But
Oh
I kinda,
yeah. No,
I
but
went from the houses to Vegas to fucking
that's cool as shit, though, man. That's something I've always wanted to do. Like,
bums fucking on the street to.
well, yeah, not doing that, but I want to like just the experience, man.
Don't knock it till you try it, motherfucker.
It's like, oh, you're gonna be on the street corner, tucking your dick in and shit.
You're gonna make that $1 tonight, bitch.
Yeah, man. I don't know. So I was going through all those classic movies, and Bloodsport's another one. Like, not a super huge fan of Van Damme, but as far as like the action guys of that time, like Van Damme, like
Yeah, Bloodsport is one of my favorite.
Bloodsport's
movies
so
like
good.
that. You Jackson, you look like Jackson.
yeah, and apparently that was like based on a true story. I can't remember the dude's name.
Frank Dukes.
Yeah. But I've also like heard things on YouTube like where this kid did a documentary about that guy and said pretty much that guy was full of shit. Like that story's been fabricated. People are like, no, we don't. There was no such thing and whatever. But it's cool to live in that idea, thinking that it's based on a true story.
Yeah, but even if it was just a fucking movie, the movie kicked ass.
Oh yeah, it did. And Van Damme was awesome in it. And then it had Donald Gibb, I think, the dude who played
And the nerds.
yeah, Ogre.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but
Yeah, Donald Gibb,
But
Gibb, or I think that's his name.
I always like Bolo, the
Bolo's
villain
shit.
in that movie. I
Yeah.
mean, he's been in a bunch of Bruce Lee movies and other martial arts movies. He's just a fucking
He did
animal.
He did a few with Van Damme. I think there's another one with Van Damme where he's the villain in that. But that dude was a beast, and he's such a like
I heard his son's a fucking beast now.
genetic man.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Because there was a lot of steroids and shit back
Who
then.
gives
but
a fuck? That
but
dude.
that dude
just
was
his
a
appearance
beast.
was just. He was a fucking just.
it was taunting, man.
Yeah,
like
dude
when
was
you
a
saw,
fucking animal.
he was one of those guys that was always a good villain though too. He didn't say a whole lot, and they had that funny like dub English shit over it. But it was like
Yeah, he didn't
fight
have to
you.
say a lot, but like his facial
presence and shit.
Yeah,
just-
plus his facial expressions, like
that dude could have been a great wrestler. Like he would have popped as a fucking
Yeah.
like heel. Like didn't even have to do shit. He could have thrown people into the ropes and that would have been cool.
yeah,
But-
he just he was.
He just had that fucking
badass dude.
yeah. Yeah, man. I guess other movies, man, like The Burbs. I don't know if you ever saw that one.
No,
But it's
Tom Hanks.
Yeah, Tom Hanks. Not big on Tom Hanks, but obviously you cannot
I like
mention
Tom
Forrest
Hanks,
Gump
but
and
oh yeah, Forrest Gump's fucking classic.
yeah. But like The Burbs, it had Corey Feldman in it, and it had the dude from Back to the Future, the old guy, Lloyd. I can't remember his name now. Christopher Lloyd, yeah. And then, Carrie Fisher was actually the wife in that one. That was a good movie.
That's
if you haven't
the Star
seen
Wars
it,
chick, right?
yeah. If you haven't seen it, you need to see the
She's
Burbs.
dead too.
Yeah, recently too, right? I think right before they did this last one, she died.
Yeah, I think she's buried with her mom. I want to say. I don't know. That was another thing we did in L.A. too. We went to a gravesite, so it was pretty cool. I seen where Burt Reynolds died, and who was all there? Burt Reynolds. I was gonna say the one bitch, but the one woman that just got shot by Baldwin. From that movie. Have you heard it on the news? They've been talking about.
Is that the one he's in jail for now or something?
I don't think he's in jail, but
I thought that was a prop chick, but she's.
No, yeah, she was a camera or something, but she's buried there.
Damn.
And almost right next to her, is one of the Ramones. Right next to him is Chris Cornell. It was pretty cool, man. I'll have to send you pictures. Maybe you can throw them into here.
Yeah.
But it was wild. Like the Burt Reynolds, he's his thing. Like he's got the Smokey and the Bandit look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was cool. And the other one we were gonna go to, that has a lot of people too. But that's gonna be on the next trip. But yeah, man, it was pretty cool.
Dude, I'm gonna have to ride along with you.
Well, it's a plane ride, dickhead. But
yeah,
you're more than welcome to come when we go.
Put me in the carriage. My big ass won't fit up there. It's like you're gonna have to pay extra for that shit.
Yeah, all but over 50 pounds is fucking $100 more or some shit. Like,
yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy. Yeah, I've only flown a few times because I had a fear of heights as a kid, and I took a trip like upstate New York one time to visit some friends, and that was an experience, man, like overcoming my fear. And then I fell in love with flying.
I fucking love flying.
Especially drinking and then getting on a plane. I was like, hell yeah.
No, I don't need.
Dude, it was nice. It was awesome.
I got bad ears.
It took away the fear. Like it kind of took it down. And I was like, man, this ain't bad at all.
I always have ear infections. Like I can pretty much go to a doctor and get antibiotic because my ears are always fucked up. And one of the doctor years ago, even my mother told me that they wanted to put tubes in my ears when I was little. And a doctor even suggested to do it as an adult, but like
for
fuck
fluid
that.
and shit. Oh.
They were saying it came from back in the day with all the smoke and whatever. I was around so much as a kid that it fucked my ears up.
Damn.
But I mean, I don't know how much of it is.
That
I go through points where it's like static in my fucking ear, but I think that's just from too loud of music and DJing for years with the headphones and blasting it.
I could see that.
And all the concerts, I'm sure that hasn't helped over the fucking
Yeah, standing
years,
right up on the speakers at shows and shit.
Yeah, you feel your heartbeat. Like,
then you can't hear for days.
But that's the love of it.
Yeah, and concerts, man, especially small venues, man. There's just like a feel, like live music in general is like fucking powerful. But I don't know. I love that shit. And then like I don't know. I've been watching so much like Boondock Saints. Oh, like I know it's a little older, but to me that's like a more recent classic.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's. You know how I got tied into that is, I don't know if you know the band Bleeding Through.
Yeah, Bleeding Through. Yeah.
So they
Seen them a few times.
have that intro where
where they're saying a prayer or whatever.
No, it's Defoe's part where he's like, "It was a firefight."
That's awesome.
And then, but I didn't know, and I listened to it, and I was actually working, not the job I'm in now, a job before this, and I was like, "Dude, this comes from a movie." And the guy I was working with, Paul, he was like, "Oh, that's Boondock Saints," and I was like, "What is that?" And he's like, "I can't believe
you've never
like
heard
all
of
the
it?
shit you're into, like you've never seen this movie." And I was like, "No." He's like, "When you drop me off tonight, I'll give it to you. You can watch it." And then like. That was instant. One of my favorites. That movie's bad as shit.
Yeah, I love that.
But he's also the same one that turned me on. I think he turned me on to that. Have you ever seen Mean Street Hooligans?
No, I haven't. I'll have to check that out. I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever.
What's that fucking? It's got the Jax from Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
Charlie, whatever his fucking name is. But he was young. But what's that other dude's name? You remember that movie and this is going back to about that time too. The Good Son with Macaulay Culkin.
Yep.
Do you know the other guy's name? What the fuck is
Dude,
his
I'm
name?
shit with names, you know
Yeah,
this.
I know, but I gotta see his name now. But
Like, I mean, the comedy one we went over, like, I'm shit with remembering names and stuff. Like, if I don't like read up or like watching shit, I'll forget things. I can remember like moments in my life like really vividly, but I can't. I'm shit with names. Faces, I'll know.
this dude, Elijah Wood.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But this fucking movie, you gotta check this movie out. This movie's good as shit. But look how young they were. Like
Holy
that's the dude
shit.
from Sons of Anarchy. But it's like a soccer movie. But like, it's based around, because it's over UK type shit. So it's based around like soccer. But,
Like their culture and shit.
But besides the soccer teams, it's really a movie about like the people of the town, like the gangs of the town, and them fighting each other. But the movie's fucking awesome.
See, I don't know if you like a classic to me too, like into the 2000s was Nick. Oh shit, I'm gonna fuck their names up. I think it's Nick Frost and Simon Pegg. You ever heard of them?
No.
The actors. Simon Pegg was in the recent, like, I guess Star Trek. I'm not really into Star Trek, but I know he played in a recent Star Trek because I have friends that are into it. But he did these movies around the 2000s where they did this spoof of like Day of the Dead or The Living Dead or whatever it was, those horror movies, and it's called Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That guy, those two guys, they're comedy
like
group.
The Hot Fuzz. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. I know who they are. That's where you should have started.
Yeah,
dickhead.
Hot Fuzz,
you're
though.
Not good with fucking names.
Yeah,
but
but
you're gonna try to.
I was trying to go into Hot Fuzz though, like where the town and shit like that, like the gang, like the town turns on them and shit.
Yeah, Shaun
those-
of the Dead.
I wish those guys would do more movies. I love their
I know
shit.
they got a couple of them though.
They've got one that's not like, I don't know. He directs most of the stuff. Like they do a lot
But
of shit.
he not the skinnier one.
Yeah, Simon Pegg.
He's been in more than the heavier.
Nick
stuff,
Frost.
too.
Yeah, Nick Frost does a lot of the English because they're like, I don't know. They did a lot of English TV and stuff too. I don't know if it was The Office, the English version of The Office, or they were in something together where they're like flatmates or whatever they call them over there, roommates, flatmates or whatever.
Yeah, they did that Paul.
Yeah, Paul's one, Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and I think they had another
World's
one.
End.
Yeah, The World's End. That one's good too. I just showed Ian, my son. We just watched that. That was great.
Yeah, you're a fucking dickhead, dude. You just talk about names and then you're gonna try to drop fucking
All
name,
them.
and you should have just said like Shaun of the Dead. I've
I had to
seen
think
that
about
like,
it.
so many fucking
I don't know,
times.
man. See, I told you, like, I fucking, my brain, man, it goes all over the place. But, yeah, those are some recent classics. And then, like, in the 90s, growing up there, like, Blade, when that hit with Wesley Snipes, like, he was in, I think, Demolition Man and stuff with Stallone.
I fucking love Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies is New Jack City.
Yeah, that's a good
can
one.
Go through. No, that's a fucking great one, son.
Yeah. Yeah, but for
I can
me,
go through that whole
for
movie.
me, man, I don't know, something Blood Blade, because I was in the, like,
Word for
the
word.
comic book stuff.
Yeah,
like,
but the thing about Blade was Steven Dorff as the fucking villain.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
the most.
Deacon Frost.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was.
He was a
fucking
good villain.
gangster as fucking that.
Dude, I'm surprised he didn't do a bunch of shit after that
Like
movie.
even that fucking first scene in Blade where that fucking blood starts coming down and shit. That shit's fuck. That movie's
Yeah. For the time, that was really, like,
yeah,
different.
I think they're redoing the Blade. I think they're coming out with it.
I hope it's good, though, because
Well,
Wesley Snipes was a good Blade.
Yeah, but even that movie and like the Spawn movie they did back in the day.
The Spawn one, that's not one that's talked about a lot, but
'Cause
that was good.
I'm not a big fucking comic book person.
See, I like comic book shit.
Well, that's because you're a fucking nerd.
Yeah, well,
No,
fucking
but
Star Wars.
I mean,
and
I
shit.
do like some of the Batman movies, but the earlier Batman with Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton. And
Oh,
shit,
Michael Keaton, that's
still,
my
like,
Batman.
High up.
That Michael Keaton's definitely
But
my favorite.
I
Batman.
was kind of anti of seeing that newer Batman with the Twilight dude.
I know you're talking
And it
about.
had I think the girl in it is somebody's daughter. I almost want to say Lenny Kravitz's daughter.
Who's the Batman's with shit? Who's the dude that did American Psycho?
That dude's a dick in real life, right?
Yeah, but he played
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, but he played a great Batman. Like it was
See,
darker.
and people
I
love
liked
those Batmans.
They're not my favorite, but they're all right.
But like even people talk about like the Heath Ledger as Joker. Like he was a good Joker, but I think it was.
They don't stand out as much.
I don't know if it was oversold just because he died and now it's like, oh my God,
The last
he's
few
dead,
movies
so
he
now
did.
he's fucking great. But like, I mean, I watched shit on him where he gets into character and that like he gets fucked up as a person to play this character, and there's some definitely fucking killer lines in that movie.
Yeah.
From the Joker, like the why so serious and explaining the fucking shit. But that other Joker movie that came out not too long ago,
That was Phoenix.
yeah, I like the
Is
fuck
it weak?
out of that.
I can't remember his first.
And they're making another one of that too.
Yeah.
Part 2 of that series.
I bet that I haven't seen it, but I heard it's pretty cool. I heard it's good.
What's that?
The Joaquin Phoenix version.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
I like it.
I heard it's really good.
It's kind of fucked. I mean,
yeah, but I would expect
it
he
definitely
plays.
puts another look on a Joker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't like them being the same though. It's good to have
plays
different
that different
takes.
Joker, but just like that Suicide. What is that? What was that fucking movie? Suicide Squad or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, I know what you're talking
But
about.
they had what was it? Jared Leto do fucking Joker, and I didn't like.
They
I didn't
made the
even like
Joker-
the fucking look.
they
It
made
almost looked
they
like
made
he
the
was
Joker
trying to
look
be
like a
fucking,
bitch.
They were trying to make him look like a fucking mumble rapper, fucking whoever the fuck. I mean,
Yeah, but Jared Leto is a weird dude anyway. Like I don't like anything he's in.
yeah. But do you like his band? I mean, he definitely comes up. I like some of his songs in that band.
No, I don't like his band either.
Well, fuck you.
But my musical taste is kind of weird. Like I like I'm sure if I heard enough of this shit, I'd probably like something that they did. But like I give them mad respect for that. But
yeah. So
as far as movies, I'm not
So
big
the
into it.
chick in this new Batman movie, it is Lenny Kravitz's daughter. Can you see her?
Yeah. Hey. Hope Lenny's not listening. She's pretty hot. Damn.
I hope your wife's not listening,
Nah,
No.
whatever. She likes Johnny Depp and shit like that.
But yeah, this actually new Batman. I was saying before, I was kind of worried about it. Not worried about it, but like, what's it gonna do? Like, you got the fucking Twilight dude. Is Batman gonna sparkle in the fucking sun? But
I haven't seen that.
I like the direction this new Batman movie went. It's
Worth
a watch.
That makes or breaks the movie a lot too. Like the directors, the direction they take it in. Like the acting could be great, but if the director, like if he takes it in a way that's not interesting or new, or like I like when movies pay homage to shit, but I also like them to be their own thing.
But even like dumber Batmans. I mean, I loved and
George
maybe-
Clooney. I didn't like that one.
Not
at
so
all.
much George Clooney, but I liked like Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee teaming up as Two-Face and the Riddler.
And
like
I
they were awesome.
I even liked Arnold, even though I'm not a huge
Mr.
Arnold.
Freeze.
Yeah, he played a good Freeze.
But he was also Uma Thurman was in that as Poison Ivy too. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
They got a lot of good people in it.
But then you
those
brought
were
in
goofy.
Robin, and I'm not big on. You don't need a fucking.
Yeah, but then they made him look kind of like fairy tale, kind of like I don't
Who,
know.
Robin?
No, but
Or-
but the costumes and everything were very cartoony. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Like
And
it's
and I'm not a big Danny DeVito fan, but
Oh,
even the
Penguin.
Batman Returns as
Yeah.
Penguin and Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, that was pretty good.
yeah,
So,
yeah. But those were darker, and I mean, it was. I don't know.
you know in that movie where they dropped the Penguin, you know who his father is in that movie? It's Pee Wee Herman.
Really?
If you go back and watch it, yeah,
I'll have to watch
it's
it.
Pee Wee Herman.
Huh.
So
Rest in peace, Paul Rubin. You just
yeah, I love Pee Wee.
Pee Wee's awesome, man. I grew up on the Pee Wee's Playhouse shit, and then I watched the movie. He had a few movies, but the one with the bike, I used to watch that one a lot as a kid.
Yeah, that's Big Adventure.
bike.
Yeah, we went to actually that was one of the houses we went to, and it's not funny, but we went to that house, and then the day after is when he died.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
So it was just recently then. Damn.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep. Poor Pee Wee.
Yeah, man. Paul
They
Rubin's
kind of
awesome.
they kind of fucking ran his name from in the dirt.
The whole
when he jerked off.
jerking off in the porn theater.
What do you go
thing.
to a movie like that for? Of course you're gonna beat your fucking dick. I mean,
Hey man, there's so many worse things he could have been doing.
I guess.
I mean, it's Paul Rubin, dude.
Yeah, but
Like Cheech and Chong is where I think of him the first thing I ever saw. Like besides the Pee Wee stuff, like, like when he was that restaurant. Was he was the
he was the hamburger dude.
yeah.
Yeah, that was an.
I like when he's in the restaurant with him under the table and shit.
Oh, snorting coke. Yeah, that was awesome. Everybody needs that.
Oh, Cheech and Chong, you can't say any. Yeah, because Cheech and Chong too. Up in Smoke was like one of my favorite movies. Like I saw that with my dad. I think I mentioned that before, but that was
Yeah, I used to watch that on beta. My dad had it on beta. All those Cheech and Chong things because he was a fucking dope head too. So Up in Smoke, Nice Dreams, the next movie, all that shit.
Yeah, I gotta revisit those. It's been a while since I've seen those.
Which is pretty cool because we went to they started touring, doing a stage show and shit, and we went, me, my dad, and Tracy, I think, went to DC and seen the stage show, and then years later, me and Tracy's a co-worker and her husband went and seen him at the casino down MGM, but they do this, and it was the same show. It's just years different, make $1, but.
Yeah.
The greatest thing about that show was they brought 2 chairs out to the thing, and they did the whole fucking skit of them being in the car from Up in Smoke, and like when they got pulled over, and like he said, his name is Ralph, man, and like all that shit. So it was cool as fuck.
Dude, I always like the part where he's like, somebody's knocking on the window. Yeah. He's like, you can keep on knocking, but you can't come in. And they're just in there laughing and shit. I always love that shit. I guess other than that, like I watched a series of Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, like the Kill Bills.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino's the shit, man.
Oh man, he is.
Actually, that was another place I went to in LA. I got to go and took some fucking pictures of me sitting at the diner where Reservoir Dogs was.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. Fucking, especially like Pulp Fiction, like you had Samuel L. Jackson, fucking John Travolta, which is weird because I was never a huge Travolta fan. But, I mean, there were some movies I saw him, like, as growing up, and then obviously Grease because my mom was into that, theatrical dancing shit.
I never was real big into Travolta.
Yeah, but in Pulp Fiction, he's bad.
That and Face Off.
Face Off was good, too.
That was the shit with Cage.
Yeah. He's one that's out there too. Like Cage has some good movies, but he's one of those method guys who gets really into it, and he's got fucking weird and shit. Yeah,
he's
too.
Hit or miss. But Cage just did something on Netflix that fucking, I don't even know the name of the series, but it talks about like I don't know if it's called like. It's pretty much all just about fucking cuss words that Netflix put out. I definitely got to move this computer if I'm going to start fucking getting on here more to fucking search shit for sure. Netflix. Let's see. Page. See what it's called. The History of Swear Words.
Huh, I'll have to check
is
that
an
out.
American documentary series hosted by Nicolas Cage. The series was released January 5th, 2021 on Netflix. I didn't think it was that old, but that shit's hilarious because he does like the intro and he'll be like, fuck, and then he'll explain what it is, and then they'll have like guests and talk about the word and where it came from and like all this shit.
Like the origins.
I don't think it was that many episodes.
Yeah.
But it's worth the watch. Yeah,
I'll have to check that out.
It's definitely worth the watch.
Yeah, because we've got it, but my wife's on like Netflix and Paramount and all this bullshit that we have, and we used to share a lot of that. Now we own a lot of that monthly subscription shit, but I never watch any of it.
Probably too many of them. Yeah.
Yeah, like I just don't.
Fucking way here too.
I've never had the time to just sit down, and I don't know. Like I always have other shit to do that I like. I wish I just had time. So right now, that's why I've started watching the movies. I was like, man, I'm just not feeling like I'm going to watch some classic movies. There was like a sale and I bought a few movies and I was like, man, I'm going to go dig out some of the movies I got. And some of the stuff that you can see, I was like classic movies. So I
you
was
big
showing
into like the horror genre or
not
too
so
much?
much. Like I went through a phase where I was watching a lot of the horror stuff, but like my wife is big into that. And my son, some like she's got him into it, and he likes it. Like he'll like he used to be kind of scared to look at some of the shit, but then he'd be like, "Oh, I love that movie," and he'll like reference. And now this thing like with video games and stuff, they're bringing back like the scary characters, like these survival games. So they'll bring like Chucky and like all these people,
Yeah.
like Freddy, Jason.
Well, I could kind of tell him like over there.
Yeah, he
some of the
knows.
shit
He
was
knows like
into,
everything.
Like, oh wow, like, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah, like so I've been trying to get him into some of these movies just to kind of like, because I know he loves watching movies like with his mom a lot. So I was like, I got him into some of it. He likes like Ghostbusters. I wasn't a huge Ghostbusters fan growing up, but as I got older, like we
See, I liked
watched it.
Ghostbusters.
I wasn't like huge. Like I watched them. I always liked them. My brother liked Ghostbusters, so I had to watch it a lot with him. But and then the newer one that came out's pretty good.
Didn't watch it.
Yeah,
I watched the newer one with the females, but not the one
I didn't-
after that with.
I didn't watch
the
that one, but I
kids.
heard it wasn't very good.
Eh,
But the brand, the new one with the younger kids, like they
Yeah.
paid a lot of homage to it, and it was its own movie, but they paid like especially towards the end and then a little bit in the beginning. So like they intertwined in a way that it was like, I don't know, it was just like it was good, but it was obviously like new age shit, but it was directed very well.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's certain things that doesn't need to be fucking touched.
Redone,
And
yeah.
I mean, just like that. People told me to watch Ghostbusters. People have told me to watch the new Cobra Kai series.
Dude,
it's
I
not
like-
new,
I
just
like it.
because,
They revert a lot back to the old shit
yeah.
in the movies. So
but I mean, I was such a big Karate Kid 1,
dude,
2, and 3.
you can't undo, like those are
But
those are classic.
I have no interest to sit down and watch a fucking
Well,
series.
they
of,
made it like a family thing now because they've got younger kids in it, but there are some darker things in that show. And the way it starts off is pretty dark. Like it gets a little funny and comedic. Like that's the thing that I think about movies that now that I'm sitting here talking about is like the directors, like some of these shows will start and they're very like they have a vision and it's very like it pulls you in. But then as it goes on, I don't know if it's because of the popularity or the expectations because of the popularity
Yeah.
that the directing changes or they go a different way and they try to be funny but then serious and dramatic and like I don't know, thrilling at the same time. And then like I feel like the more they dabble into all these other genres, it fucks like the thing up. So I only watch usually like I'll try to watch things through when I do have the time and I sit down to watch them, but it's more disappointing. Like I find the more time I spend watching things and I'm like, oh, I have these ideas. Where the fuck is it gonna go? And when it starts heading away, I don't like it. I'm like, okay. Is this...
Yeah, so why I mentioned like the horror movie thing is I'm a big like I love all the Saw movies.
That's my wife on a bicycle.
I love it. I love them. The first one's kind of rough, but you need the first one to watch the others. And yeah, I'm just a huge fan of those and any kind of Michael Myers. I'm there. I'm more of a
Yeah, I like the old Halloween.
Michael Myers than, and I got to, so I don't know how many fucking Halloweens there are, but going to these different like cons, I think I've met a total of like 6 or 7 people who's played Michael Myers over the years, even including the very first one. And fuck, when I met him, I think we talked baseball for like 15, 20 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah, so
that's cool
he
as
was
shit.
an LA guy, and we kind of talked about LA and New York and just different teams.
Well, because you're a Mets fan, right?
No.
Oh no,
the
that was
Yankees.
Brewer. That was Brewer.
Yeah,
because we
Brewer,
talked
yeah.
about that before too.
So, just seeing how even baseball has. I mean, it used to be those teams are at the top every fucking. Well, LA is now, but Yankees have kind of fucking sizzled and.
Oh,
Red
they had
Sox is
Jeter. They
kinda
had Jeter for so
sizzled.
long, and they've always been like one of those
Yeah,
top
that,
teams.
That was the. But I mean, even not being, even going to Orioles games, but not being an Orioles fan, having friends that are local team people. It was nice seeing Orioles go to where they went this year, and I don't think they were expected to even get close like they did. So it was nice. But now you're almost getting. It's like the people that got tired of seeing. Yankees, Red Sox every fucking year. Now
Yeah, it
people are
does
getting
get
tired of
stale.
seeing fucking the Astros, or like now it's just a different. So hopefully we'll get that rotating cup going again, and maybe the Yankees will get in there sometime again soon. But if not, I mean, it's football season right now, so who gives a fuck about baseball right this second?
As a kid, man, I liked Griffey, obviously, because he was
Fuck
like,
yeah.
so like Reds. Like I just wasn't huge in, but
Yeah,
I
but
wanted to see Griffey.
I don't even consider the Reds as Griffey. Like
No,
Griffey
no,
was
he was his own
Mariner,
thing.
but
Yeah.
he was a Mariner.
Yeah.
The Reds were later.
I think that's when he
years.
before he retired, right?
Yeah, I think so. But like, yeah,
Ken Griffey's
that dude
baseball
had
and
one
shit.
of the most beautiful fucking baseball swings ever.
And I always liked random player because I used to play those little baseball games and shit. Kirby Puckett. He wasn't like
I love Kirby Puckett,
but he was cool as shit.
just a big dude from the Minnesota Twins. He's
Yeah.
passed away too. But we went up to, because Tracy's dad lives in Minnesota, and we got to go see a Twins game, and they got the Kirby Puckett statue outside and shit. So it was cool because he was one of the guys like collecting cards as a kid, and he was one of the higher players, popular. I mean, I guess that's.
Yeah.
I mean, who else did the Twins have? Chuck Knobloch, which, but yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, being from the
seeing
Baltimore area, Cal Ripken was huge when I was growing up. And then you had his brother who wasn't so good, Billy Ripken.
Yeah, I never was a Cal Ripken fan. It's
Yeah.
funny though, but
I don't know. We used to go watch the games a lot, but I don't know, man.
yeah. So my dad's wife at the time, she got these tickets, and she was such a fucking bitch. She got the tickets, so me and my buddy went, and the game we went to was the first game that Cal Ripken sat out to fucking stop the streak. So like, you know, people are getting the newspapers and saving the ticket stubs, and I guess this bitch thought it was gonna be worth something, so she like asked my dad, like, can you get the ticket stub back, blah blah blah. Dude, I folded that fucking thing so many goddamn times in my wallet and sat on it where that motherfucker would be creased. Like, so my dad's like, oh, she wants the ticket, like, because she got these tickets, she wanted them. I know what the fuck she wanted. That's why I did what I did. Like, fuck me, nah, bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Here's your ticket.
See, we used to go down there a lot because my dad he worked in D.C., but he was like the chief of police. He was involved with that, running a hotel, and then he was on the Chamber of Commerce down there. He was kind of like the businesses down there were really close. So my dad would get these tickets to the Bay Sox, which is part of the farm team of like the lower like echelons of baseball.
Well, that's even like the Frederick Keys.
Frederick
up here.
Keys were even low. I think no, the Bay Sox were lower than the Keys, I think, but they had a really good farm like team program for those guys. And then as they got better, they would move them up or take a chance on them. But my brother had season tickets for like I don't know a good stretch of years, and we would go. He would ask us to go a lot, and they had what's his name, Chris something, and he was good. They had a decent team there because the O's never really invested like a lot. They always tried to work with like whatever they could get their hands on, and they didn't reinvest. But they had J.J. Hardy, some other dude, and then that Chris guy got traded like a few years after that. But he was like the Grand Slam guy for them, so it was always fun to go. Like I wasn't into the O's, and I kind of fell out of baseball for a while, but.
Like, I never been to a Nationals game, but I went to the stadium for when the Capitals played the Winter Classic there. So
That's
I got
cool
to
as
watch
shit.
The hockey game outside because we had season tickets for the Caps then.
Yeah, we used to go to a lot
That
of Caps games.
That game was awesome. Yeah, we had season tickets for a couple years, and it was awesome to be able to go. But it kind of getting up at fucking early in the morning, and then we moved even further
It's an all-day
north.
thing, too.
Yeah, but I mean, by the time you get off, like I didn't want to go to the game funky, so I'd come up the road, take a shower, go back down the road, get on the fucking metro, go into DC. I mean, if the game's good, you're gonna stay the whole fucking thing. So then you got to fight all this clusterfuck of people
Just to get back,
then to get to Shady Grove, then to come up the road, and then my fucking alarm's going off at 3:45 in the morning, like, and it's not like football where you get one game a week. Like they're playing 80 some fucking games, so it's like
back to back to
It was
back to
it was
back.
just a lot. Yeah, sometimes it's
That's how I feel
a
about
little
concerts,
fucking
though.
ridiculous.
Like I would go down to concerts, and sometimes I duck out because it was like, okay, if I really wanted to see a band finish or whatever, I would watch the whole set. But there are a lot of times like I've seen this band multiple times, and I'll go and watch them, and I'm like, okay, we can duck out because of traffic and get back. If you're on taking on the metro, you don't want to be like on the last fucking metro out late at night and shit like that. So it's like, that's how I felt about that too. But man, I used to go to Caps games to like, especially when they got OV. Like when they first got OV, they had Sergei Fedorov was playing for him before he finally. I think he went back to the European League and then he retired finally. But so it was cool to see like people like that playing, and then I was like, damn. And he's good. I know a lot of people say he's overrated, but that dude's a fucking beast.
So, two things. So I got into hockey. Real good buddy of mine. We grew up. I think we've been friends since 5, and I mean I still talk to him. But his dad was involved, and he had him, his brother, and his sister. I guess 2 sisters, but his dad was like a single father, and he'd get these like single parent tickets, and it's when the Capitals played at the Capitol Center down in PG County before they even moved into DC. So that got me into hockey young. I mean, we went to the first game, and Alan May and Dale Hunter, that they're fighting, and I still put those 2 guys at the top just because they were fucking.
That was part of the action,
bullshit.
Man.
Yeah,
like, and it was rough. I mean, it's rough now, and I'm sure like with padding and whatever, and that's part of the sport. Like it's always been a part of the sport.
Yeah, but so and then when Ovi started, the first game Ovechkin played, I won tickets from Elliot in the morning, so I got the stick that Ovi uses, his rookie stick, which they don't even make anymore. And then we were like 4 or 5 rows from the glass, so I got to be at Ovi's first game. So
see, we were in the nosebleeds
cool.
when I went, but it was just such a dude, just like.
But you know what, man? People talk about nosebleeds, but there's certain sports.
But you could see everything, and it was like, I don't know. The place was just like
it's cool. It's cool to sit low, but even at a football game, it's cool to sit low. But my buddy David, from his job, he got tickets for some Ravens game, and we went, and we were 50-yard line, but we were the last fucking seat at the top. Greatest fucking seats ever. Like,
yeah, you can see everything.
Nobody's fucking with you up there. Nobody gives a fuck what you're doing up there anyways. So
right.
Like, but yeah, it was just cool.
Yeah.
Or I guess in the opposite, if it's a concert, I want to be as close. But sports, fuck it.
See, I'm the opposite now. Like I like going to concerts. I like smaller venues, but I'll sit in the back now because I can't get in the pit anymore. Like my body's just shot to shit now. But I'll have a few drinks and then relax. But yeah, we went to Caps games and it was nosebleed, and we were right in the center of the rink, but we were up like midway, but it was, dude, just the stadium was pulsating with like energy. It was, I don't know, something about like going to a real game's great, but like going to a hockey game, like the energy is like pumped up a million. Like you go to a baseball game, you're getting rally and into it, and if it's a good game, but like hockey's always like that.
Yeah.
At least maybe because it's Capitals and they had OV and Backstrom, Nicholas Backstrom and all that shit. And they had Green at the time too.
I never was a Mike Green fan.
Yeah, Mike Green. I mean, he's good though. And then he had a few rough patches there for a while.
Then he went and played for Detroit for a while, and then I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I haven't
but
kept
like even
up
now,
with
I haven't watched hockey. I mean, I watched that they were doing. I seen they were doing good, but some of the names they mentioned, I had no
Never
clue
heard
who
of
the
them.
fuck they were. And I was following, like, when we had season tickets, there wasn't a player that I didn't know. And
yeah,
you just kind of.
I followed it for a while. My dad was a huge hockey fan. In fact, one of my cousins actually played like on a farm team for the Hartford Whalers. For a while. He's really fucking tall too.
And that's another fun thing to do too, is going up to like a Hershey Bears game.
Yeah, the Hershey Bears are fucking good, man.
Cool.
And there's so much cool shit to do at Hershey too. Not just the park, but just like going downtown and shit. But they have a lot of good stuff at that stadium.
Downtown? What's downtown?
Downtown Hershey, like they got a bunch of nice restaurants and shit.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, like there's a lot of like because it was built up around the whole, like it used to be named something else, and then Hershey, as it grew, like the town changed name and shit.
Yeah, the last time I went to Hershey, I was excited because I was like, there's a Fuddruckers there, and Fuddruckers you really don't see anymore. But
there's one in Chambersburg actually.
Still,
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean
shit.
it's not like we went there because I'd never eaten one, and
Really?
Jen took me in there. It wasn't bad, but
Oh, see, there used to be one down in Rockville that we used to hit all the time. They shut it down, and
it's like it used to be. It's equivalent to me. Well, it's more of like the like the burger art kind of shit, but it reminded me kind of like a Ruby Tuesdays without the salad bar. Like
ew, for real.
Yeah, like back in the day when Ruby Tuesdays was like the cool place to be at, like when I was a kid and
Yeah,
you were like a teenager and shit. Because we would go to fucking Chi-Chi's all the time too, which was right next door.
That was the place.
Yeah, Chi-Chi's until
Fucking love
they started
Chi-Chi's.
killing everybody.
Yeah, but even I mean down there in Frederick Way, they got that restaurant Casa Rica's, man. I still love that fucking place.
I've been in there a few times. I always had a good time, but I don't know, man. It's just not, to me, it was like Chi-Chi's was the shit, even though it was a commercial thing.
Yeah.
Like, it was so good. And then they had the ground round was like the finger food. Like that used to be, my dad used to take us in there a lot too. Because they had the bar and the TVs and watch a game, and it had all the old shit. It was kind of like a Shenanigans
we
or
definitely watched some games up in there. But now that's like some fucking Indian restaurant that I don't know how the fuck is open, because every time we drive by it, it's like dead as fuck. Like
that's a lot.
it
That's
must be a
everywhere, though.
front.
Yeah.
It's got to be a front.
Maybe. I mean, that area that when the Fredericktown Mall, the Fredericktown Mall down that way off of Golden Mile used to be big, and then as like shit went out of there and they were remodeling stuff and it never kind of came back, there was definitely some drug shit going on in that place for a while. When it like later in its
Well,
years.
shit. I mean, your sister worked in that mall forever. That's where the card store was. She was working at.
Yeah.
Carlton Cards.
That used to be a cool place to go because they had the fucking Pocket Change arcade. We used to go in there a lot, and then they had this really bomb ass pizza place there too.
Now what's in there? Just the fucking.
There's like nothing in there.
Yeah, but
I don't think
the
it's,
warehouse theater they
Yeah.
put in there, and then they built a Home Depot right there at
Yeah,
the end. I
you
think
used-
the Home Depot where Montgomery Ward used to be, or some shit, right?
Yeah, I think it was Montgomery Ward's, and then I don't know if it was before or afterwards. I think it was a Sears or something, or there was a Sears somewhere around there. It was like going back. This is like early
Yeah,
90s, but yeah, that was like a cool place to be though, man. Like there was so much shit that
Well, I
used to
don't
be.
know.
Like,
Even growing up in Montgomery County, like Lake Forest was the shit, and that doesn't even exist anymore. But
Yeah.
even before that, when I was a teen, Brio, it was when that first opened. It was like they had batting cages in there. They had fucking bumper cars. It was like an arcade. I mean, it was cool as shit.
what's that?
Roller skating ring.
Fuck. At Wake Forest at the very top they had that fucking
Who did? Lake Forest? What?
Yeah, at Wake Forest Mall, at the very top, they had that big fucking arcade place with the food, like the gourmet, like big fucking plate food, and they would have shows, like stand-up shows and stuff in their little theater. What the fuck is that place called?
At
like,
the mall?
yeah, it was at the very top of the Wake Forest Mall.
Lake Forest? It's a
Oh,
L.
Lake Forest, my bad. I always thought Wake Forest, but it was
No, I don't know what the fuck.
and
you're
I think
talking about.
Columbia.
The movie theater was downstairs, and that ended up becoming like a eatery place but there was an arcade beside that.
Yeah, there was a massive arcade. It was like a branded thing. I forget what they call those. But it was like gourmet, like expensive food. You pay like $70.
No, that was
$100.
that
wasn't
White Flint. That was Dave and Buster's.
Oh, okay, Dave and Buster's. My bad.
yeah,
White
that,
Flint.
that was
I thought it
that was further down the
you know what it
Rockville
was?
Pike.
My sister ran a store for a
But
while.
now
there.
the Dave and Buster's is actually in Rio. They reopened it, but White Flint I don't think's anything anymore. But like
that's Dead
Nordstrom.
Mall too now, though. A lot of
Yeah.
those are. It's just a mall like that used to be like a huge thing, and I mean, there's a few malls that have recovered and adapted to changes and stuff, but malls are a thing of the past now too.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad because that was like the cool place to go, movies or just chill.
Yeah, but like Anne Arundel Mills, that mall is still busy as fuck.
Oh,
I mean,
popping.
you can definitely get your fucking steps in walking that motherfucker.
Well,
And then
the
even
one in
Columbia Mall.
Hagerstown too is pretty popular. That place is packed all the time.
Yeah,
but
I
the
mean,
restaurants,
they
I
really
think,
don't have shit in there though.
yeah. But I think it's the restaurants keeping it alive. You know.
But that Columbia Mall right by Meriwether, that's a
That's
nice
big.
mall too, though.
Yeah, we used to go in there a lot. I used to go in there with some buddies, and we used to fuck around in there. And then we'd go to, like, anytime we went to Warped Tour down there, we would fuck around the mall before going in.
Yeah.
It was a cool place to hang out. Although there's been, like, shootings and shit there recently.
There's shootings every fucking where.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, just turn on the fucking news. You're gonna
Right,
get something.
right.
And the thing that pisses me off about that is, they're like, oh, a 13-year-old got killed. He was carjacking, and then they show this picture of this innocent fucking elementary school kid. Like, no, that wasn't your kid. Like, your kid was a fucking dick, is why he got shot. Like, I'm sorry anyone's kid died, but
feel sympathy. It's a picture of a boy.
It's like 3 in the fucking morning.
He was such
like,
a good boy.
So where are you at as a fucking parent? Like, I can't. The news is just fucked up in general.
Yeah,
anyway.
but I feel like the news is
there's
just
no like you're watching the
now.
news for good information.
I feel like there was a switch though, because there used to be some good news, like, and then they would drop some bad news or current events. But I felt like around the time I was like a preteen, 13, 14, I remember I stayed a summer at my aunt's house, and we were watching news, and I feel like that was the time actually Paul Rubin had some sort of show, like game show. This was after the jerking off thing, and he had some sort of TV show that was on the air, like on one of the major networks. And I remember just everything from that moment on, because my grandparents lived with my aunt, and she was taking care of them because they were older at this point. And they would always watch the news or the game show channel with all the old Card Sharks and Richard Dawson and all that kind of shit. And they would watch that shit all day long. Oh, in the evenings when I would come home with my aunt, because we'd be out doing shit all day. She'd keep me busy when I was there. We watched, the news would come on, we'd change it over. But I remember just everything from that point. Maybe it's because I never noticed before, but it was just like everything was negative, like death. Oh, war, this and that. I mean, around 2000s.
Yeah, but now it's a matter of what channel you're watching to what. I mean, they all say
agendas
the same
and stuff.
shit. It's just a matter of, are they gonna
politically, are they taking it left
are you
or right?
on this side or like? So news is not fucking news. News is whatever
journalism.
The fuck they wanna,
journalism is dead on the mainstream.
They want to jam down your fucking throat. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I kind of watch the news just to know what I gotta wear the next day.
Yeah.
As far as
and
the weather.
I think that's why, like, talking back to like the classic movies, I think that's why like I've enjoyed like going back with this time to like watch it. It's because it's the nostalgia, but the remembering of better times. Because I mean, shit was probably crazy then growing up, but as a kid, you're not thinking about all that shit. But we've lived through so much weird shit, especially recently. Like, so I'll watch these movies and I'm like, man, I remember seeing this movie for the first time and being like, yeah, this was badass, and not having to worry about all the shit that we worry about these days, you know?
I don't know. There's a lot of...
There's shit back then too, but for me, I had blinders on because I was a kid. I wasn't thinking about that kind of shit.
I had to deal with then too. I mean, I guess it's no matter what kind of lifestyle you had to grow up with. You know what I mean? So
yeah, everybody has their own.
Yeah.
Some worse than others. You just don't know until you're living.
It
in
is
their
what
shoes.
it is, though, right?
Yeah.
It makes a day, and we're existing.
But fuck, man, what's another one?
Another one? What movie?
Yeah, Casino. Joe Pesci. Yeah, I like Pesci. He's good.
Yeah, Pesci's a fucking G, man. Even in fucking Home Alone, that dude's a fucking gangster. But his role in
Goodfellas is too.
His role in Casino was the shit. He was just the fucking muscle man, and
he plays that character so well.
Oh yeah, just a little fucking arrogant fucking dick. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. And De Niro's good too. I like De Niro.
Yeah, he's good in almost everything he's done. I mean, that's another one you got to put with like Al Pacino.
All the mafia movies and shit.
So,
yeah, it's good. I guess like. And then recently, because they're talking about this Beetlejuice movie coming out, so Beetlejuice, and you've got like, I'm trying to think of, what else are they doing right now? They just came out with that Wonka movie.
Another one they're doing now is you got a Beverly Hills Cop movie coming out.
Oh, Eddie Murphy.
Axel Foley.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
So
I'm kind of excited for that now, like really excited, because I love all the Beverly Hills Cop movies.
Yeah.
And I got Ian into those. Like, he likes them too. But they were just, I don't know, man. Like I said, going back to like.
But you know, I'm such a big, I'm a huge Wonka. I mean, obviously Wonka fan. I mean, I got a
Gene
Willy
Wilder
Wonka tattoo on me. Like Gene Wilder was the shit, and it's probably one of my go-tos since I was a kid watching it the first time. So last night we went, me, you,
Yeah,
your
we just saw
son,
the
and
new
Tracy.
one.
We went and seen the new one, and
I wasn't sure what to expect.
part of me didn't want to see it just because I don't want anyone to touch it. But at the end of the day, I enjoyed the movie last night. I thought they did a great job. I mean, it was a lot of song and dance, but
Which I'm not really into that kind of shit, but it was good.
That's one of my little I don't talk about, but I'm real big into musicals, and I mean I don't know if you even know because it's a lot older than me. But do you know Oklahoma? It was I don't know. They made it a movie, but
No.
when I was a kid, my grandmother got me into it. Like I want to see what year this fucking thing was.
See, when I'm thinking like musicals, I'm thinking like Grease and shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it was definitely.
I just liked it because it had Frankie Valli singing in it. And my dad grew up in that time period, so
1955.
Damn.
This movie Oklahoma came out, and it's. I got the record and can you see it?
Yeah.
So, like, that's something I don't really talk about with people.
We're gonna keep that on the down low.
On the down low of fucking like musicals, but I also don't talk about. I mean, there's certain shit I don't like. I'm a huge Disney person, but
Yeah.
I don't watch Disney movies.
Well, I grew up on Disney movies, man.
Yeah, but I don't watch Disney movies with like people just because I guess I'm fucking inner bitch or whatever. But
No.
there's been so many Disney movies that I definitely have to wipe my eye or I get fucking. But yeah, I love Disney movies.
See, I used to have the watch like when my son got it because as a little kid he was watching all that shit with my wife, and I kind of like I hadn't seen a lot of Disney movies in a long time. But we used to have like at my mom's house we had all the old VHSs, and even those are like a collector's thing now. Like they're big money for like old
Some of them.
Yeah, so I'm sure she's got them stacked away somewhere. But
anyways, back to the Wonka. So the music was, and there was enough old school
references and stuff. Yeah, I feel like they did it well.
Yeah, I did enjoy it. I wasn't expecting to, and I kind of went in with an open mind because I know it's not going to touch the
original,
the old one.
Yeah.
But then I've seen memes that like, oh, we like this Gene Wilder as Wonka because you really thought he would just sit there and watch your kid fucking die type shit. I mean, he had that, like, you know what I mean?
Like he didn't care.
Go fuck
like,
yourself.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, the motherfucker's drowning. Let's call the fucking Oompa Loompa to get him. So, but yeah, I definitely enjoyed the new Wonka.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect because the one with Johnny Depp, I didn't watch the whole thing. My wife was into that one. I know my daughter was into that one too. But
I'm gonna turn. If I turn these down, you can't hear me through your thing, right?
No.
All right.
Or through the computer.
No. So okay, hold on. I'm gonna turn them down real quick. I want to yell for Ian. Ian, can you come here for a second, please?
Well, I can edit this part out anyway.
Oh, can you? I didn't want to fucking yell in your ear either, but
yell. You're good. Yeah, man, I thought it was good.
So earlier today, or actually yesterday, before the movie, Ian kind of popped up and was like, "Oh, what time are you recording?" And I wanted him to, so I asked him like, "Hey, would you come be like our first guest type shit? Hey, dude, can you come in here for a second?"
So this is my son Ian.
So this is Ian. This is our official first guest on the show. I don't know if that mic works though. I don't know if we got this one hooked up and registered.
I don't know. Try it. Is it the blue?
I think it's 3, but it's not.
There's no sort of click or anything to it, is it?
No, it should just be on. No, it's not on. Yeah. So.
Here, you can talk through Dad's.
So what's up, dude?
Not much. I was playing Oculus. I was playing Job Simulator.
Yeah.
Oh, were you? Can you get closer to the mic?
Yeah.
So last night we went and had pizza, right? And then
Yeah.
we went to the movie. What'd you think about the new Wonka movie?
The new Wonka movie was awesome. I loved it.
What was your favorite part about it? This might be a spoiler if you haven't seen it, but it's okay. Go ahead.
My favorite part was whenever the Oompa Loompa took his chocolate while singing that song. That was like...
You know what my favorite part was?
With the frying pan.
I'd never seen someone your size house a bucket of popcorn. The movie. No, don't get embarrassed. It was awesome, but like, you sat beside me, and at first all I heard was, and I was like, holy shit! I'm thinking to myself like, this dude is housing this popcorn.
Yeah, I had to nudge him at one point because I was like, dude, like all I hear is his mouth chomping on it, and I was like, but yeah, you were like a vacuum, man. You were killing that popcorn.
But I didn't want you to stop doing what you were doing. But I know you said you were going to come over and jump on the microphone, and so next time you come over, you have to talk more because you had a YouTube channel and you're real big into video games, and you're just a cool ass kid. So, like, you definitely have to come talk more. But you can run back upstairs and do what you were doing. I wasn't meaning to block you, but
It's okay.
Oh well, thank you for that, sir.
I was just.
Is there anything you want to say before you leave?
Yeah,
I
talk to the
guess
mic.
go subscribe to Will's Fukery.
Oh,
Yes,
no.
yes,
Subscribe to
yes. No, hold on.
And
Come
he
back.
was
Come
talking
back.
About his channel
Come
is
back.
ENX,
Say,
it's called
say,
ENX Torch.
yes. Say your channel clearer and closer to the microphone.
Go subscribe to ENX Torch.
Awesome. Okay, and what channel is this?
This is.
Get close to the microphone, please.
Man, Will, you're gonna get me killed.
Go ahead. No, you're not cussing. You're just saying what kind of show this is. What kind of show is this?
This is a podcast.
And the name of it is?
Will's Fukery.
Can you get closer to the mic one more time?
Will's Fukery.
You are awesome,
watch
dude.
it out.
Thank you very much. I love you.
Oh man, you're gonna get me into trouble.
I'm
now.
sorry. I'm sorry. If no.
His mom's gonna love this. I'm gonna get an earful
It's
now.
awesome. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I brought any. Dude, you're awesome. Thank you for coming down.
Yeah.
But next time you are going to talk more, okay? All right, dude. I wasn't expecting him to drop the Will's Fukery, but once he
man.
did, that made my day.
You're like, say it at least 5 more times.
Right. Just keep saying it.
Oh man.
Well, that was awesome. I know he was playing the Oculus and shit, but I know we were talking about he wanted to come on or whatever, but he's been busy little fella tonight upstairs, fucking
Dude, he
making
is.
candy and playing games and.
Dude, he's man, I wish I had way more energy because he's all about that. Like on his little channel, we did this cooking like thing together. It was like cooking with dad, and his mom helped me. My wife helped us make some stuff because she's really the cook. I can't do easy stuff, but she cooks, and yeah, man, he likes to do a lot of game stuff. So we haven't put too much game stuff up on his channel, and we stopped for a while because we just got busy, but. Like we would go out like last winter we started going out and like we still had like a good amount of like money saved up. So I was doing like these little projects, and one of our goals is he wants like we watch this channel on there called Abroad in Japan, and we're real big into like traveling shows. Well, it's this English dude who moved to Japan and he like travels and talks about different regions and stuff, and I love the Japanese culture anyway, but he fell in love with that shit. So we had that in like our bond. So we made a spoof video about it.
Oh, nice.
And it's like, that's our goal is we want to go there someday. Cause I know some people that live over there. I've spoken about that before, but I want to go there and like just 2 weeks or a month and just take them there and like travel and see some of the stuff we've seen on that show, just see different stuff, try some food. Cause he loves like ramen and stuff too. I took him to a ramen shop. We went down south to I think was it North Carolina or South Carolina. We went to Durham. I think that's north.
Isn't that from some movie? Bull Durham or some shit? Wasn't that something or something? I don't know.
Well, I took him to see a band.
Oh,
So
for real?
Duke University is down that way.
Okay.
And we went to see a band that I grew up like. I was dating this girl and I got into it through her, and we went to see them when they came to Baltimore. They don't really like tour or do stuff like that anymore, but they're this really good indie rock band, and there's just
Are you not going to say the name?
they're called Hammer No More the Fingers.
Okay.
They have a funny it's a funny name, but they're great dudes, and I actually got to meet them a few times, and I for a while I actually asked permission to use a song on one of my old channels that I had that I was doing shit on, like experimenting with like YouTube when I got into it. And they gave me permission to use a song to do this like pilot for this little show I was going to do that never just took off. Like I never did it. I did a trailer for it and it popped. and like they gave me permission to use the song as long as there wasn't any politics or like religious stuff into it. So, which I thanked them a lot. It was just really cool. They're really down to earth. Their music's like great. It's different. They're not like huge, but down there they're kind of good. So I took him on a trip because he likes their music, and I was like, dude, I would like if they're still playing. And I looked into it, and they were. I reached out to him, was like, hey, you probably don't remember me, but like forever ago, like, yeah, I saw you in Baltimore. Like, my son loves your music too. He's like 10 years old. I want to bring him down. So earlier this year we went down for a few days. We hit Duke University, and in fact, the shirt I'm wearing right now is it's called Sarah P. Gardens, and it's right on the property of Duke, and it's this big giant like floral place. Like, it's a garden, a huge ass garden that they maintain and clean. It's like one of the biggest ones in the country. And it was just like springtime. It was fucking beautiful. But we went down there. I took him to like this museum thing too, because the educational thing, I figured it'd be kind of cool to do some other shit when we were down there. So, but we went to the concert. We ate at this like traditional Japanese restaurant, and they had ramen. Like, those are hard places to find around here, and you know, like, it's not as common. Like, when you go to big cities like New York, you can probably find shit like that, but they're far in between around here. So it was like, he loves ramen, and he's like, and I was like, oh, you like the cup of noodles? That's not ramen. You got to try real ramen. And the kid fell in love with it. And he's like, dude, that was one of the, like, he still talks about that trip all the time. Like, he's like, I want to go back. He's like, I want to see Hammer No More the Fingers too. And they just dropped an album, like a new album a month or two afterwards, like after we saw him. But it was just such a cool experience.
Likes doing all kinds of cooking and type shit?
Yeah, man, he dabbles into everything. Like, he really wants to do the whole YouTube streamer thing, and I get that. The kids are huge into that with the gaming and stuff, and we have the shit to do it at the house, but I just haven't devoted enough time to doing it. Just because for him to be able to talk while he's playing, like, I don't know how it would fare well, but he's gotten to that point now, like, he's talking to his friends while he's playing on those games, so I figured it would be kind of cool for him. I'm just kind of very careful about what we post, though, just because you don't know who's watching and stuff.
Oh, so I'm sorry.
Well, no, not so much. No, nah, it's not a big deal. I'll catch hell with my wife, I'm sure, but she'll laugh too, I'm sure.
I didn't instigate
I'm not a bad parent.
I didn't instigate that.
Or maybe I am.
Well,
I don't know.
after the first time, maybe, but the first time,
yeah, Will's
that
like,
was all
hey,
him.
Will's like, do it 3 more times. Wait, let me hear that. Get closer to my.
Get on the microphone.
You're gonna get me in trouble, man.
I need more of that kid. Maybe we can do some clips of, because I do a lot of cooking, so maybe he can come and.
Dude, he's into movies too. Like,
Help
he'd like horror movies and stuff. He'd be right there with you. He watches them all, even the shit he probably shouldn't be watching. My wife lets him watch, and
I'll just ruin his fucking mind. You can be permanent cameraman. He'll be the co-assist. You can do your production shit, and me and him will just take over and.
Oh man,
he'll be telling you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah, he'll become the main guy on here with Will. I'll be kind of like off to the sideline. I'll have to tell him watch his mouth because he'll start talking like us, you know. I don't know, dude.
But I heard it from Will.
There's so many good movies though, man. Like Doubtfire.
Fuck a movie, man. Now I'm just.
You're way off.
We definitely gotta use his little Will's fuckery as an intro for.
The Will's Fukery. It'll be like our soundbite. We could use,
no doubt. Shit.
If we get a website together, it'd be like we could offer sound bites. And
I was like, what the fuck?
Oh man.
Yeah, dude, that was cool as fuck. Yeah, so I don't know, old school movies. I guess you got the Gremlins that are fucking classic and held up over the years. Like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is one of my favorites. Like,
I know you've mentioned before, like House Party. Those were good too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've always been real big into, I guess, like the black. Well, I mean, quotes. It is black movies. I mean, I grew up on a lot of that in black comedians, and so I mean, any kind of old school, like Eddie Murphy shit, like Golden Child and
Golden Child. That's one I didn't even think of.
Yeah,
man.
that
like,
came out of fucking nowhere. I used to watch that all the time.
I like the part where he's doing the water shit, where he's got to keep the water in the cup.
Yeah. Well, even before that, when he wants the knife, he's like, I want the knife, please.
Please.
But yeah, that movie, actually, that movie is why I don't eat fucking oatmeal to this day.
Really?
So I don't know how much of that movie you remember, but when he
It's
goes
been a
into
while.
that biker club and he's looking for the one girl or whatever, he hits that fucking oatmeal and all that blood comes out of it.
Oh, yeah. I kind of vaguely remember
Ever
that
since
now.
that point, I do not
Like, fuck
with
oatmeal.
Yeah, and now like even not thinking about that and trying to eat it, just any kind of flavor oatmeal, I can't. Fuck oatmeal. Thank you, Eddie Murphy, for that. But
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, and fuck, man, you talked about Wonka, but Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder as a fucking duo in some of those fucking movies.
And I hear, like, I don't know if it's true, but they said they fought a lot, actually, too.
I don't know. I know they were really good friends, though, but, like, that Stir Crazy movie where they both get locked up, have you seen that? You had to have seen that.
I'm sure I did. There was one where they did, like, a cop, like, I don't know if it was a detective or a cop thing with a kid or something.
They did, like, hear no evil, see no evil
I think that's
shit,
the one.
But that Stir Crazy one, they get locked up. And the one scene I remember, they're getting locked up, and Richard Pryor's like walking with like his style, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Man, you got to get bad." So then like Gene Wilder starts doing all this shit, and he's like, "Man, you being a little too fucking bad." But like, I mean, Richard Pryor movies, even growing up, he did that movie, The
Pryor's
Toy.
awesome.
The Toy was awesome. I mean, all those, and fuck, one of the classics is one of the classics. Now I can't even fucking remember it. Harlem Nights.
Harlem Nights is good.
Yeah, that had a little bit of I mean, Red Fox was even in that. And
see, when I think Wilder too, like he did Blazing Saddles, right?
Who?
Blazing Saddles.
Oh yeah. Where the white women at?
Yeah. It was good.
That movie would never be fucking made right now. But
Not
there's
today.
so many, even Ace Ventura, when they find out that dude's got a fucking
that
dick,
wouldn't hit right now.
And he's like fucking plunging his mouth because he kissed the fucking dude, and everybody's puking and shit. That shit would never fly. That shit would get canceled like a motherfucker now.
Yeah, it's different times, man.
Talked about this community, canceled.
Which is weird because there's a lot more stuff that's more socially acceptable now. Like, you're just exposed. Like, everything's out in the open now, so you wouldn't think that like it would be that big of a deal.
But it all boils down to people's fucking
feelings being offended.
Who gives a fuck?
Cancel everybody.
On almost anything you can play, there's a fast forward button, there's a stop, and there's a fucking eject. Even if you're watching this and this is not your fucking taste,
then stop.
Go to somebody else's page. But like, you don't need to comment. And I know people
subscribe first though.
Yeah, right. Thank you. But there's people who go through and just watch people's shit just to make fucking negative comments.
Yeah, or like, cancel people and shit. I don't get
fucking
that.
Suck a dick. Like, nobody gives a fuck about. And that's one of the things.
But that's the thing. Like, you can turn off. You don't have to watch shit.
But that's the thing. Nobody wants to turn off. It's cooler to fucking cry about it and fucking
to create drama. To create drama and problems for people.
If it's not your fucking thing,
right?
Turn the fucking channel. Find something that you like.
Like at the end of the day, for me, like if somebody wanted to cancel me, dude, I've got probably sure I might have things to lose, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna stop being who I am. Like fuck you, man.
There's certain shit that I can't say on here just because I
have jobs and shit too, but.
Yeah, because if I had like Dave Chappelle money, this would be even fucking different. Fucking because you can suck a dick because I mean
I don't know, man. I wouldn't be able to live like I couldn't. I wouldn't care because it's only
you
also
would to a point though, man.
Nah, really I think once you but I think as I get older, like more and more that's fading away. Like I just got to a point I don't care.
If you were in a certain job and this was like your side shit, there would be certain things you
like
bite your
precautions
tongue about. Or like saying certain words and then be like, I know I shouldn't have said it like this.
Yeah.
Like,
but having for me though, it's not even about, it's not like a shock thing or I'm trying to get laughter, but having a conversation, like if you're not able to have conversations with people, you can't like, you know what I mean?
But that's the thing. People's opinion only matters if it matches theirs.
If it resonates.
Shit we talk about fucking religion. It's in politics and I mean
it's in everything really now.
Yeah, it's all a fucking.
Yeah, you got an angry mob after you if they're not resonating with what you're putting out. So,
fuck them all.
Yeah, fuck them all, man.
After they subscribe, right?
Yeah, subscribe first, and if there's a phone laying out, because you mentioned that before, subscribe to them. Even if it's not
I
your
did
phone.
say that.
I like that. That was awesome.
It's just like, if it's unlocked, just subscribe to it. Fuck them. But no, somebody's actually listening. I hope. I mean, we got 3 new subscribers since the last fucking podcast. So
we've been getting quite a bit of views too over the last week.
I do appreciate it if.
Yeah, keep watching,
you.
Even if it's for a second.
You, and you didn't help these subscribers come in, step your fucking game up for me, please.
Just tell one friend. It's all you gotta do. If there's like you said, if there's a phone sitting down, and even if it's not yours,
tell your kid teacher, tell your Bible school teacher. That's another one I saw.
You can even turn notifications off because I don't give a shit about that. But just watch the videos, click on them. At least listen to some of the stupid shit we're talking about, or even if you don't like it, just get offended.
Yeah, be offended. Fuck.
It's
if
fuckery, man. It's part of the train wreck.
If you're offended, I'm willing to talk. I'll hear your side of the story.
Yeah,
definitely.
The conversation, that's what it's about, man. Like, that's why we do this shit. It's to put some shit out there, but to conversate, you know?
I just want to put shit out there that nobody gives a fuck about.
That's like our niche, though.
Yeah.
It's like, nobody cares.
No.
But somebody's going to listen.
Somebody cares.
But, fuck, man. What was the other thing? The Rambos. I was watching Rambos. I know this is like a last-minute thing. I like Stallone stuff because I grew up on Rocky and stuff, but Rambo, like, I just watched the ones because I
like the Rambo. I could only get like First Blood was good.
First Blood was good,
and I heard the last one he did was like
good.
Gory as fuck.
I wasn't gonna watch those ones because I was like, man, it's gonna be like one of those they do it too many times. The aesthetic of it wears off, and they're gonna fuck it up. I watched the last 2 or newer ones because I think they did one in like 2008, and then they did one recently because he was finishing like up all of his movies that he was involved in over time. And I will say that last one was really fucking good. Like, it was good.
Yeah,
I liked it. They were both pretty gory, but that last one, especially the ending, like, fucking.
But I mean,
great.
even classic movies like fucking RoboCop was the shit back in the day.
Yeah, RoboCop. In fact, they just dropped some video game apparently that's really fucking good for RoboCop.
Oh, really? Is that another one they're gonna redo and come up with something else?
Maybe. It'd be kind of cool if they did. I would think they would, because usually they do a lot of that marketing shit with video games now too. Like, they put out games around the time they're thinking about doing shit.
I'm surprised there's not something like a RoboCop. Definitely with all these cops getting fucking whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look back at RoboCop, that's kind of like what our world's becoming as far as like crime and shit. So it'd be a good time to put a new one out. There might even be one I just don't know about it. But I would have thought I would have heard about it. Unless it was horrible. You know what I mean?
There was something that was redone that what's that dude's name? Colin Farrell. What is that dude's name? Colin Farrell? Is that somebody that's or am I mixing two fucking people up?
He's that Irish
What's
guy.
the dude that was on The Gentleman? Have you seen that movie?
I haven't.
That's a fucking great
He's
movie
a
too.
pretty good actor though.
But that was the main character, and that was what's that dude? He's on Wolf of Wall Street, where he talks about you jerking off. You got to get your numbers up. But he's an older. What the fuck is his name? He's in the Cadillac commercials now and shit.
Is it? It's not Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, it's the other dude.
Although that was a great movie too.
That was a fucking awesome.
I love that movie.
What was I looking up? Oh,
I don't. Colin Farrell, yeah.
He redid something. I can't remember what the fuck it was though.
God, it's hard because there's so many good fucking movies. But
that's the remake he did. That was Total Recall.
Oh, okay.
So I knew it was something he did, and I was like, was that fucking RoboCop? But no, it was Total Recall, which should have never been fucking touched because Arnold killed that movie.
Yeah.
And that was like the first time you seen like 3 tits. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
Dude's like, I wish I had 3 hands. You're doing fine with just 2.
See, I was watching kung fu movies, and they had like a thing like that on Kung Pao, that goofy like thing they did.
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey. All right.
Yeah, but that's who I was just talking about.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey.
He's the one that talks in the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
to
yeah,
Lady
that's right. Yeah,
about
he's
getting
like,
his jerk off more.
yeah. Because he's like,
Those are
just
rookie
get
numbers.
you going. Yeah,
Yeah.
just get you going. You
Not
just
because
gotta-
I want to, because I have to. Gotta get them numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
Fuck, man, I forgot he was in that. Yeah, that's right. Because he's the guy that gets him into the like.
But The Gentleman, you got to watch that fucking movie. That's a great fucking. It's cool as shit. But the other dude I was just talking about, Colin Farrell, he's in that movie too. He's a pretty badass in that movie.
Yeah, he's a decent actor. I like him. I like some of the stuff he was in, like growing up, like into the 2000s and shit. But yeah, man, shit, we've been going for an hour and 47 minutes.
Yeah, we're good.
So I guess we'll end this one. There's so much more shit. I'm sure we could touch on movies another time, but that was pretty. Like as far as classics, there's a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much shit. I mean, it depends on like what you want to say a classic. I mean, dates, but one of my favorite all-time movies also is The Crow with Brandon Lee. I've watched that movie.
That was huge. That was huge.
And then, branching off of Brandon Lee, fucking Bruce Lee had some fucking killer shit and.
Yeah, and get into the kung fu, and I think Chuck Norris was
Enter
in.
the Dragon. See, I was never a big Chuck Norris.
See, I like Chuck Norris because they had that early '90s that Sidekicks movie where he was like the imaginary dude, and then he comes in the end.
I
of the
never
movie.
watched that. I was never.
It's more of a kiddie kind of thing, but it was like is decent. I used to watch that a lot. It was always on rotation on HBO because I think it was an HBO thing.
Yeah, and I think like, I don't know. I liked Free Willy. Like type shit. Those are kids' movies.
Shit, I haven't heard of that one in forever either, man.
But like, I mean, there's only a couple people that call me Willie now. My sister being one. Because I mean, I was a fat kid, so you know when that
Big Willie
when that fucking movie came out, that was everyone. You unoriginal fuck. You want to say the fat kid, Free Willy, because so I kind of. But I mean, there's
those guys.
There's people. They can all eat a dick. But there's people from elementary school that if I'll run into them and start talking, like they'll call me Willie, but I don't hear that a lot. But yeah, man, there's in like the 3 Ninja movies.
I remember those, Rocky, and
then you got like E.T. and shit. That's classic.
Yeah, E.T. is good. There was one my brother liked. There were 2. Well, there was that Willow.
I never got real big into that.
Never got into it.
Andre the Giant was in that one, right?
Yeah, and we're like huge wrestling. Like, not so much now, but I like the older wrestling.
Yeah, we definitely got to talk about some old school wrestling shit.
Of course, Hulk, Randy, all the big guys, Jake the Snake Roberts, Stone Cold, The Rock.
That's not even old though. But now you're coming up to
King Kong Bundy and shit.
Yeah, that's the air.
Yeah, the late 80s, Steamboat.
But what other movie were you talking about? Because you're about to fucking go off of this train wreck too. You started naming.
No, man, I think
you said Willow and something.
It was Garbage Pail Kids.
That was a movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I never seen the movie. I used to collect the cards back in the day.
Yeah, the Garbage Pail Kids, like that was one of my brother's favorite movies because they would like do all that shit. Like all of them had their own little special power thing with mucus and shit. Yeah.
And then
that
even,
we used to watch.
Even
a lot
the
of.
Fucking when the He-Man made a movie, Masters of the Universe. That shit was tight.
Yeah.
It's probably fucking gay as shit now watching it.
Flash Gordon and shit like that.
So we hit some Disney movies about some tears, and we hit some action, some horror. I think we did
all right. At least we hope we did. But yeah, man, I'm sure we'll touch on that kind of shit again, but down the line. But there's just so many movies that you could bring up and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll probably hit on like wrestling another time, and
definitely. But it's.
And I think, man, I don't know, man. Like, I know you're into comedy and stand-up. I'd like to eventually get you to do some stand-up shit. I think so. I guess give us if you're listening or you come across this video, like, and you've made it this far, like, let us know if that's something you'd be into, because you definitely like you've got some material and shit, dude. I think it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of try to. I mean, even some of the shit I've wrote, I wrote about lighting that fart on fire. I would get into it more, but. I mean, there's shit that I've tried to work in here just to see how coming out of my mouth and hearing it, listening back, just to see how it would sound, and not going into as much detail as writing down. But, yeah,
that'd be kind of cool to go in there.
Oh yeah.
But we're at an hour and 51 minutes, so I think we're gonna around there. We're gonna go ahead and I guess we'll phase this one out. But thanks for watching.
Yeah, so I guess what's today? December 16th?
Yeah, Christmas is coming up. not this Monday, next Monday.
Yeah, wow.
Shit. Yeah, the year has flown, but hey, maybe we'll do a fucking Christmas episode or something around Christmas, you think? Maybe. Just do some, maybe we'll do a drink.
Just come and do like a 10-minute.
Maybe we'll do like
yeah, because you're coming over for Christmas dinner, right?
Yeah, we'll be over Christmas.
Yeah, so yeah, fuck it. And there'll be other people here.
Yeah,
Maybe
we'll get some guests on this thing, you know?
Yeah, I doubt it.
Maybe, I'm sure Ian will be here, so.
Yes, he's got to bring in the show with, what's the name of this show again?
Oh,
that was fucking great. So I hope everybody had a great December 16th, and y'all are done with your holiday shopping. And if you're not, you better get the fuck out there, because it's just going to get even more stupider this fucking week.
oh, man, it was today. Last minute shit we were grabbing. Yeah, it was.
And then, I don't know, we'll be back. I guess these will drop on, what's the 17th, 19th, 20th. So this will drop on the 20th and the
24, Christmas Eve.
No,
right?
that is a Sunday, dude.
No. Yeah, I'm thinking.
It would drop the 20th and the 22nd would be a Tuesday and a Thursday, as long as all the audio was saved.
My bad.
And then, I'll shoot you all some shit on some dumb TikTok shit probably throughout the week, and we will be back. So thank you all again, and if you told people to subscribe, I appreciate you. If you didn't, step your fucking game up for me, please. And
Yeah,
I love you guys.
Hit that like button, hit subscribe, or at least leave a comment or something. Even if you fucking hate it, just say, "Hey man,
screw you guys.
Sucks."
I'm going home.
Yeah.
Out.
Peace.
Oh shit. So what's going on, people? I guess you weren't expecting to be in the bathroom with me this early in the relationship, were you? Ooh. Now, if you watch this is the Thursday before Christmas that this episode drops. So thank you. Definitely, if you made it this far. I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate the people who are supporting us so far in this journey of the shit that I'm trying to put out to get started. So Christmas is in a couple of days. I really don't have much to say. We got Christmas coming up. I hope everyone has a good holiday. And 2024 is right around the corner. So if you've been going through shit in 23, let's kind of wipe this fucking slate clean. Start as fresh as we can with what we have. And let's try to stay positive and be there for each other. I hate the negative shit that people want to put out, and hating other people's content or material. Like, there's enough people out there that there's a seat for everybody's ass, right? So if this channel is not where you want to place your ass, thank you for at least checking it out. For the people that have supported me and going through whatever I'm going through, and trying to get this shit up and rolling, I appreciate y'all more than fucking words can say. So yeah, let's get ready for Santa Claus, and get ready for this new year and see what it brings everybody. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, and the children of the fuckery, have a good week. And that's about it for today. Thank you all again from my heart.